What is up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Dynasty. I am Justin J Money here, hosted with Adam Frex. What's up, Adam?
What's up, brother? How's it going? So,
Uh,
let's say it's a anxious filled day for us, definitely us Chiefs fans and any teams left in the playoffs.
that is for sure, man. All the teams left now are some pretty solid teams all around. That's for sure. So,
So, is that where you want to start with this? You want to kind of gloss over yesterday real quick? I know you have a board of
no,
shit to kind of
I'm,
lead the
I'm,
show,
I'm,
but
I'm kind of antsy to ask you one thing. So I remember, I don't know, a couple years ago, someone said, "Oh, that's Josh Allen's best season. He won't have a season like that again." You still feel that way?
absolutely. He had 50
Really?
total touch. Yeah, he had 50 total touchdowns, man. It's kind of saying, do you think Mahomes will ever throw 50 again? I mean, it's possible, but let's be honest, it's not likely.
Right, but you wasn't a believer at all in Josh Allen.
Oh, just because of that, and I still think he has these deficiencies. All right, like he can
I,
still not necessarily retort back to the norm, but he he can be turnover prone. So
oh, for sure.
that may just be me wanting to state my own argument, and I'll fucking stand on this hill till I have till I have to or don't have to anymore. So
Right.
I'm not coming off of that. I'd rather be right if anything.
Yeah, it's all right. I just remember that conversation. I figured I'd bring that up before we get too in
Yeah, no,
deep.
that still sets deep in my mind whenever I think about Josh Allen. Is that I was so stronghold on that fucking that argument, and I will continue to do so until I don't have anything to stand on. So,
The second year that they've won their division, and you was a
uh,
huge Patriots AFC East guy, you know.
I, yeah, I was a year late, man. I still as far as I mean the Patriots kind of blew that one. So let's not just think that they're going to be running the AFC East for the next 10 years. I don't think that's the case.
You don't think that's the case?
No, not at all. I think um, New England has the possibility to be sneaking in. Make it
Oh,
like
for
say call it
sure.
next 10 years, six probably six Buffalo for New England. I think you know Josh
Yeah, I
Allen
could.
obviously is a better quarterback right now, but
I don't know. Mac Jones is young, dude, and he just what he's done in his first year is very impressive to me. You know, if his
uh,
defense would have done anything in that game, I mean, the Bills had the ball 7 times and scored 7 touchdowns. How do you compete with that? You know?
man, it's not going to happen again. I don't think this is going to be as high scoring as people think it is. So I think it stays in the 20s.
Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be a shootout for sure, though.
I think if it's 30s, it's low 30s. I don't see a shootout. Like I know it should be, but I don't see a shootout. Buffalo's defense is salty, and
Yeah, I mean, but
um,
neither one of us really run the ball like we should or could. You know what I mean?
right, like traditional teams who normally do. Josh Allen has over 700 yards. Singletary has over 800 yards. So it's really a split duo between the two of them. So
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. Like, I think this game right here is definitely like the matchups couldn't get any better. I mean, Mahomes against their passing defense, like top and top, you know, everything just along the whole board, just the matchups is crazy good.
no, I agree. I mean, you can't underestimate. Well, I think it helps the Chiefs having Tre'Davious White out this this go around compared to earlier in the season. I mean, they're still salty. You still have a Poyer, and I can't remember the other safety's name. So they're still solid. They got that prototypical how to beat the Chiefs formula with the mainly rushing forward. They have a solid line, but they could be ran against. I mean, granted, I last probably 3 or 4 podcasts, I've been kind of stressing. Let's run the ball. I mean, just to make sure, I'd like to see us get at least 25 carries a game. from our
Oh,
running
for
backs.
sure.
It could be split up between whoever, but at least 25.
And I think last time we played them, we only ran it like 15 times. I think we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to bring that number up for sure.
Yeah, I think it was Clyde had 12 carries for I don't know how it was like 28 yards or something like that.
Yeah, I think he only had like 8 carries, and then they pieced in a few other people, Tyreek and
Yeah.
Burton, I think, got one, but overall we didn't run it
Yeah, I'm
near
saying I
enough.
think it was just Clyde. It was just Clyde Wesley. I think Gore had a few runs that game to where he kind of first started to pop off for the Chiefs, where they were like, all right, let's see this guy have more playing time.
All right. Man, I'd like to see McKinnon get that rock today. I mean, he was a hot hand last game, and I think, with Clyde coming back off injury, I think, and no Darrell, I think they, need to kind of limit Clyde a little bit and get McKinnon in the game for sure.
Yeah, man, but history says that's not what Andy does because Darrell Williams went off in that Raiders game where he had all those catches. Clyde came back the next week and he was starter, and it completely it wasn't even close to 50-50 as far as like touches.
Right.
So I kind of see the same thing. I see us bringing Clyde back in, and that's kind of the running back that Andy's looking for. So even though I think McKinnon, with his speed out of the backfield, that's one thing that Darrell and Clyde doesn't have is speed out of the backfield to bust off big ones. And I think McKinnon has the availability to do those types of things.
Oh, for sure. And he showed us that this last game, 6 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. Whew, it's nice. That's something we've been missing.
Right, and it's it just kind of sucks that's the first time not that it sucks. We're in the position we are, and that's where we want to be. But what could have been if McKinnon got more of the carries? But we got a deep backfield, man. I mean, we can't give everybody the ball. I mean, everybody wanted to see Gore at the same time, so
right.
You can't. Clyde. Other than Clyde's been fairly consistent. I mean, I would say he's been an above average running back, and that's kind of what Darrell Williams has been. And so we kind of stick with those guys. It's kind of hard to have 4 running backs even on the active roster.
Man, I don't know. I feel like our offensive line is very comparable to the 49ers, for instance. It seems like any running back they put in the backfield, they can produce great. And it seems like that's kind of been our case too. If we actually run the ball, it don't matter who's running it. Our running backs have been good no matter what.
No, I agree with that. The difference is that Shanahan will give that one particular guy who's in with a hot hand. He'll give somebody 20 carries. You know what I mean? From Wilson to Hasty to Debo will pull up there with 12, 13. Yeah, Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell here lately. So it's just the difference is, you can plug anybody in, but they still have a 1 that game. This guy's getting 18 to 25 carries.
Right.
And we'll never see that with Andy.
Right.
Which we probably shouldn't. We have Patrick as our quarterback, so
yeah. I don't know. I feel like against a defense like the Bills, that's crucial. You know what I mean? Let's shake up the secondary.
I think it's a route that we should think about taking. So just playing that way, you're forcing everybody to kind of play one step closer to the line of scrimmage, and one step closer they are. That kind of opens us up for the deep game and play action, and it's instead of them just sitting back in a cover 2 zone and waiting for, I don't know, making us play small ball, not by running it. So.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. So what do you think about these other games that have been going on this weekend? 49ers and the Packers. That was a pretty – go ahead.
That kind of I'm a Rodgers fan, man. I know he's kind of hated on right now, but I'm a huge Rodgers fan. So personally, for me, it kind of sucks seeing because I wanted to. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to be Tampa and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But for a substitute, I like Rodgers. I wouldn't mind Chiefs
Right.
Packers in the championship. So no, it kind of sucked. So it's just and I really don't want to. I'd rather seen a Tampa Packers game than a Niners because I how can I say? I think Tampa's going to beat. We'll start with I think Tampa's going to beat the Rams today. Um, so I wanted to see a Tampa Green Bay game, but yeah, I mean, right now it's just
Yeah,
kind
that would have
of
been sweet.
with Rodgers though, man. Now puts you into question, kind of. I mean, he definitely can't. He might be the best thrower in the NFL history, but he's definitely not the best quarterback, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
One Super
I
Bowl
have to agree.
all these years.
Right. And I think that's why Green Bay's ready to move on from him, honestly, I mean, to have the squad
Do,
that he's had and only win one Super Bowl, it's got to hurt.
do you think they should move on from him?
I don't personally, because I think he's, you're not going to get a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're all taken. All the greats are taken. It ain't going to get better
Right.
than Rodgers. But, I mean, eventually Rodgers is going to be done. So, since they're not winning Super Bowls, should they go ahead and start that change? Maybe. I don't
No.
know.
No. Okay. No, just because you think you're going to get that change with fucking Jordan Love?
No, probably not. I mean, he couldn't even beat the
Nah.
Chiefs this year.
So why would you have a better chance to ride out whatever Rodgers wants to do these next couple years, and that's your championship opportunity. Even though, like, history's going to say, hey, he's probably going to choke in the playoffs, but history also says you're guaranteed to damn near always be in the playoffs with Rodgers. So you have a guaranteed ticket to the dance at least every year when you have
Right.
Rodgers. Your ticket expires before the fucking dance is over.
Right. Man, it's not like he played bad though, you know what I mean? He had a decent game for the weather conditions. It was just like, I don't know. Special teams is what killed him, clearly.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's special teams, and then there was fumbles, and I don't know, man. It's just the offense still could have done more. They still only put up 7 points. I understand the special teams in a close game like that, to where the offense is struggling, the special teams can break your back.
Right. I think the block field goal before half was kind of the turning point, honestly, because it seems like, I mean, every time you thought they was driving down the field, it was like it didn't end up being anything. And so I feel like that block field goal was a turning point, and then as soon as they blocked that punt, it was a wrap.
Right. Well, momentum has swung definitely after you could after that before the end of the half they blocked that field goal. The momentum was starting to swing, and just then you started to like, all right, well, the Niners or the Packers just ain't getting out of their way. They just keep giving the Niners a chance and a chance and a chance, and then somehow Jimmy G drove them down far enough to kick a field goal.
Yeah. I feel like that had a lot to do with bad coaching, though. I feel like if they would have ran the ball, I mean, they were very efficient with running the ball. Aaron Jones he had a killer game, and why they stopped handing it to him, is beyond me, but it is what it is. I mean, that's my outside perspective.
Yeah, it's also called one of those things too. It's just no different than the Chiefs do Patrick. It's like, do we put the ball in the hands of our best player on the team, or do we, schematically think we could take advantage of this situation?
Right. So you said you think you got the Bucks winning today, huh?
Absolutely. I also, I mean, me and Jaco have a bet that I think I got the field and he got the Rams, so just rooting for the Rams to lose. Yeah. So a lot of these views may be just very one-sided. Why I look at things the way I do is more of a financial benefit to why I don't want to see something happen. I think the Rams have a chance, man, but I'm always going to take the best quarterback in any situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be all on the defense, really. I mean, I think whoever's defense plays better is going to be who wins the game. I think if the Rams get a lot of pressure on Tom, that they could easily pull it off. But I think if Tampa Bay gets a lot of pressure on Matt Stafford, then it's definitely game over.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a situation where if you look at it, you probably feel like the Rams should win, right? Just they're coming in hot, they're getting healthy, all their guys are kind of gelling together, and Tampa's coming in limping right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely beat up. I didn't see who all was out today, but if they're beat up anything like they were last game, then yeah, I would say the Rams are definitely a favorite.
I think they're missing both of their tackles. So I know there's a couple offensive linemen out, or maybe it's their center. I'm not Ryan Kelly. I think that sounds right. But yeah, I know they're missing two of their offensive linemen that's starting today. So and then you don't have AB. Then you had what was the other guy that got hurt early? I mean, you're pretty much down to you still have Mike Evans, Gronk, OJ Howard, Cameron
Godwin
Brate.
out?
So you have Godwin's been out for the season. That's kind of who I was thinking
Oh.
about. So it's just now you're looking at Scotty Miller as your number 2, really. You know what I mean? And then Brashard Perriman had started last week, and then now he's hurt this week, and so it's just they're coming in hurt. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's just going to make that game that much better because, I mean, honestly, if they're both healthy teams, I think Tampa Bay's the clear favorite. I mean, clearly they won the Super Bowl last year, but they're just such a well-rounded team. But, I mean, I guess the Rams are too, so that's a tough one for sure.
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's the more surprising one though, with going back to yesterday, was Cincinnati beating Tennessee.
Yeah, that game was, that game was crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just Tannehill starts the game off throwing an interception and ends the game. His first pass was an interception, his last pass was an interception. So, unless you have a game manager quarterback that doesn't ever turn the ball over, man, it's tough to win Super Bowls and even get into the championships with guys like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, dude, I think the Bengals are just hungrier. I think they came in that game and they were just hungrier than the Titans.
Which team, saying, if you were looking at next week, which team would you have had rather faced?
Oh, the Titans.
I disagree. Much would rather face the Bengals, man.
Why is that?
So it's just because a lot of times it's you see teams having to take that like kind of step. There's not a whole lot of teams that just go bust into the playoffs for their first year, and it's usually a kind of a building process that you got to lose that first year then before you go to things. So I mean, it's kind of that. Joe Burrow has no line, so it gives us the availability to put pressure on him. If you can contain Chase, I think that you can contain the Bengals defense. Obviously, you got to look out for Mixon too, but Chase is kind of what breaks people's backs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's what scares me, Our defensive coordinator seems like he doesn't like to change his game plan. Even when we played Cincinnati, they was killing us. Even before half, going into halftime, I'm like, okay, they're going to come out and they're definitely going to help on Chase. And they never once did that. And that kind of scares me more than anything, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that game. It was just kind of like we're going to leave Ward out here on this fucking island and like kind of best luck. And Ward wasn't in bad position, just Chase is a beast. I mean, there's good defense, better wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, but no,
Yeah.
I think that we match up better with them. I think Cincinnati's defense is worse. So, um, yeah, and I don't. They got to take that next step. I don't think Cincinnati is quite there. They're ready to go to the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah.
what I mean, how many teams
Well,
have done that? Came out of nowhere besides the St. Louis Rams back in '99.
yeah. Yeah, none that I can remember. But it's
Right,
just
right.
like you always say, I'm gonna go with the better quarterback, and I think Joe Burrow is definitely is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill.
It's a solid point. No, it's a solid point. I mean, it's a great point. So, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like if Joe Burrow was on Tennessee, I wouldn't want to play them. I'd rather play Ryan Tannehill with the
Right.
Bengals, but it's not like that. So I don't
No,
know.
I get it.
Derek,
I get the theory. I get the yeah. You're right. Burrow is a lot scarier of a quarterback, but Tennessee's team as a whole scared me more.
I don't know. I feel like their wide receiving core is like neck and neck. I feel like their running backs are neck and neck. I mean, obviously Henry's got upside, but Mixon, he's a better pass catcher, so it's kind of tough.
No, I agree. No, you got a solid point. Yeah, and if you're gonna get the separate the twos with um, Joey B, um, yeah, I get it, but whose defense would you rather go against, the Bengals or the Titans?
Mm. Probably the Bengals.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And what's our kind of our best value is on offense, so it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. It's kind of a tough one, man. It's kind of a tough one, and that's where I brought up just kind of like where the history lies, where there's not a lot of teams that uh make it to the Super Bowl without kind of making a stepping stone to kind of get there. So it's just for that is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
How do you see today's game going?
I think it's going to be a shootout. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't see much running. I see most of the running done by Josh Allen, and I hope we can contain that because I think that's one of our keys to victory.
I'm gonna interject here real quick. I think it's going to be at least a 10-point game either way. Like it's for one or the other team is going to win by 10.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think one team's going to get up far, and then that other team will start to chop in at it and start to close in, but it won't be as close of a game as people anticipate.
I don't know. I'm thinking 1 to 6 points at the absolute most.
Yeah, I'm right in that 10-point range. I think it's a 20, fucking 17, 27, 20, 30, somewhere around there.
Well, I hope.
I think it can go either way. I think it can go either way. I think it's going to go in the favor of the Chiefs. I watched back the first game, man. There was a lot of like wonky shit that happened. That was the Daniel Sorensen or Tyrann Mathieu putting hands up. Knox had multiple plays just where he was wide the fuck open. He hasn't been open that much all season. The pick six that they got off of Tyreek's hands right into the end zone, and there's just a bunch of fluky shit that happened in that game that typically I was thinking as I was rewatching this, like typically you don't see like this much bad shit happening all in one game.
Right. Yeah, it's basically just getting back to the basics, run the ball, catch the ball, no turnovers, like the basic shit that we got to do. I feel like if our receivers aren't catching the ball, there ain't no way we're going to win. If we're getting turnovers off of receivers' hands, ain't no way we're going to win.
be free when you press the button. Or like.
Yeah, it's the key to us is not committing turnovers. If we
Right.
if we have 0 turnovers, we'll definitely win this game.
You think so? I think
Yeah,
finishing.
absolutely.
I think turnovers and finishing drives. We got to be able to finish in drives for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what do you think that's the Chiefs' minimum they have to score to win this game?
28-31.
So you know round 28, we got to at least score 28 to win this game. So
yeah, for it to be even close, because I think it's going to be like a 31-38 game or somewhere along there. I think it's going to be in the 30s for sure.
I wonder what the over under is here. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna check that out. So, it's I don't know if I was to take today, kind of what the over under is. I would definitely take the under
54.5.
54.5. So that's pretty much 27 each. I would take the under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the under.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the Bills have been running the ball a lot better lately. Singletary's been coming out, so I don't know. But I think our two main things is if we can contain Knox and Stephon Diggs. They both averaged almost 40 yards a catch against us last game. If they put
that's
up
what I'm saying. That was
anywhere close to that. Yeah, no, for sure.
It's not gonna that shit don't happen twice. Like you don't see the same game twice versus two teams in the NFL. If you see them twice,
right.
unless it was Chiefs Raiders this year, that shit was pretty similar both games.
Right.
But Raiders refused to come off of that cover one defense. Man,
So is it a revenge game
for the Chiefs?
I mean,
absolutely.
you could say the Chiefs or the Bills. Really, I mean,
I think that's kind of the narrative has switched.
Yeah.
I know the Chiefs are a favorite, but I mean, if you kind of look at the media, most people are expecting Buffalo to win.
Yeah, they're not really
based on what they did to us last game, and man, I don't know. Maybe it's a feeling, and like maybe it's just me trying to or wanting to be positive, but I think that I don't think this game is going to be as entertaining as people think. And I don't think it's going to be as close as they think. Because I don't know. There's something about me that just says the Chiefs get up on them at least by 10 early. And then kind of we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I mean, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a nail biter down to the last 2 minutes of the game. Whoever possesses the ball last type game.
Yeah. I don't know. Man, I don't know. Just kind of sometimes with my thinking is just like the patterns of how the first. So usually in the divisional round, 3 out of the 4 home teams win. And yesterday, both away teams won. So it's just kind of like percentages tell me that yesterday was the good games, and today's games won't be as entertaining.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
know. It's also irrational, and I look at stupid shit like that. So it's just kind of like, all right, we did this with these games, and I don't know, man. Honestly, I want the Bucks to win, but I can see the Rams blowing the fucking Bucks out of the water.
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I don't know. We'll see. I think whoever wins today's games are the teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, definitely on the NFC side, I will absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I guess I could see it. Yeah, I guess you're right. If whoever's winning the games, if it's either Tampa, yeah, you're right. Essentially, I mean, this is almost like your AFC Championship game and NFC Championship game now that the Packers are out of it.
Right. Yeah. I think it's the best 4 teams playing today left,
Yeah, definitely the best 4 right now. Still, man, the Packers fucking choked. Packers
Yeah.
choked.
Yeah.
So
Unbelievable. I
yeah.
don't know.
So okay, not to get negative here, man. Chiefs lose. Like, how do you go into next season looking? I mean, not to be like negative Nancy, but that's a real thing. It's just like the idea of like, it is okay. Is this season a failure? Is it Super Bowl or bust?
No. No. Why? I mean, honestly, last year I was thinking that we had to come into this year, get a number 2 wide receiver. Like that was key. And offensive line, obviously. We rebuilt the offensive line. I think our offensive line is good now. But I feel like there's still some missing pieces. And now I feel like after this year, we're able to solidify all those pieces that we are missing. And I think from here on out, it might be Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah. No, I think it's more Super Bowl this year. It's still we don't go. So you have that one season where you don't go. If you lose today, it's I think the season's a disappointment. You lose next week, it's it's a little bit less like that's 4 straight AFC championship games in a row. Like the idea that the title just sounds a little bit better. I think the narrative is completely flipped upside down if something bad does happen today. The narrative on kind of where the Chiefs are at if they lost this week compared to next week. So, I mean, personally, I think we're going to the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
I got rose-colored glasses.
I agree with you, but I think the Bills have one hell of a team. I mean, they got like the best defense in the entire league, arguably, and I mean their offense is obviously clicking. I mean, the last 7 drives they scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, the Bills also have 6 games against the Dolphins, the Jets, and rookie Mac Jones. So Mac Jones was decent this year. Let's not consider he was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL by any standard. So also their schedule was soft.
Yeah,
their schedule was super. So I was just kind of like, all right, let's see what this defense is made of. So granted, they stifled the fuck out of us last game, but we'll see.
Right. But I mean, if you think about it, though, we had 4 or 5 turnovers that game, and we lost by what was it, like 18 or something like that? For
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Nah, we got blown out back-to-back games between Buffalo and Tennessee.
No, we lost 20-38. So we lost by 18 points with 4 turnovers.
Yeah, we got blown the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't think that's too bad for having 4 turnovers.
Like you said, the game was ugly.
Like you said, though, we end up with 0 turnovers. That game's completely different. You know what I mean? So this game,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, you take away that pick 6. I mean, that was deep in our own field. So, and that was a short pick 6. So it's just right there. It makes it you lose by 11 instead of 18. So
right. So, what do you think is like the number one thing that determines the game today? You think it's turnovers?
Absolutely. Just turnover. Whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win the game. I think it pretty much comes down to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think
and if the Chiefs gonna have a little bit of a run game. A little bit of a run game.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's all on our offense. Like, obviously our defense has to play well, but I think it is mainly going to be on our offense. I think if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and has 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, there ain't no way we're losing.
Yeah, I mean that's it's playoff football, man. So it's just kind of I expect kind of everything scoring to come down during playoff football. They let shit ride a little bit more. Things ain't called as tightly as they usually are. So I always expect lower scores in playoffs.
Right.
So
No, I think they said
I think if he gets 3 touchdowns, it's curtains. Like if Mahomes has 3 touchdown passes, I'm thinking somewhere in that 2 range that we just to be safe.
yeah. I don't know. I think Kelsey has to have a big game too, though, because Matt Milano, he's been I think they said he was like the number 1 linebacker when it comes to shutting down the tight ends, and I think that
Right.
he's definitely going to have a good game for us to even be in it for sure.
Who do we have out that last game too? Jones was out and Ward was out as well. So our offense should look our defense should look a little bit better. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of the whole team. I don't know. That might be a wrong statement. I was about to say the whole team kind of vibes off what the offense does, but the defense did take over there. But they was against lesser than teams. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I think Tyreek's the most important key to the offense. That's not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think we need to try McCall Hardman out at that Debo position. See if we could get him, in the backfield running the ball like Debo or like I feel like McCall could be very Debo-ish with his speed. Like Tyreek, I don't feel like it's worth risking it with him just because he's so small. But I feel like, not that McColl's much bigger, but I feel like we could potentially use McColl as like another distraction to the defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we got a comment. Brutal says nobody has beat Bill Belichick and Andy Reid in the playoffs in the same season. That's an interesting little stat there.
Yeah, it is.
So that's interesting. Michael, what's up, brother? He says no one can shut Kelsey down but himself. I think
I don't know.
I think scheme wise that teams have done well enough to put some stuff up against the Chiefs to stop at least slow down Kelsey.
Yeah, the
That's why I
last game
think
against.
That's why I think Tyreek's the most important part of our offense. Is that once you have people in their mind worried about Tyreek every play, not that they don't think about Kelsey, but like everything's just a little bit more open up for Kelsey.
Right. So if you throw in McCall Hardman with a little Debo-ish in there, plus Tyreek, that's almost impossible to even play defense against.
You're a lot bigger on McColl than I am, brother.
So. No, I'm just saying McColl hasn't been quite the guy we wanted him to be, but maybe we can utilize him elsewhere.
I get your point. Just kind of see if he has the availability to work in that role. I'm definitely down to do it for a few times a game. So it's just other than that, it's just I don't know. He would have to prove himself. So,
for sure.
I don't necessarily think he's a great. Usually, like his shit that goes. I don't know. I take that back. He's been pretty good on the returns in his career as far as reverses, I should say. Just kind of the little sweeps and stuff. Yeah, I get where you're saying why with him. So
I just feel like that'd bring out another distraction, and then they'd open it up for Pringle or even maybe Tyreek. If they're watching, I don't know. I just feel like that's something that Andy Reid would do. He's a magician.
Right.
He does the craziest shit. So why not?
Well, he did have him in that Wildcat playing quarterback. That was interesting to see. That was the first time we've ever seen that. So
yeah, and hopefully it's the last time.
I don't Dude, I don't necessarily hate the idea of it. Debo also does the same things with San Francisco. That's when you see Garoppolo trot out there to the out, and pretty much they're just running the ball. I don't know. I'm not against it. Maybe 3-4 times a game to kind of see how it goes. So I think Debo's a little bit more stacked, and McColl's more pretty much all speed.
Right, for sure. No, for sure. I just think it'd make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to kind of give the other opposition to kind of like, all right, this is a little bit different, or maybe you can work a lot of different plays out of that particular formation whenever you do have him in the backfield. So yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's kind of late in the season.
Exactly. I think that's why it's the key time to do it, because if you do it right now, before the championship game, and then next thing you know, we make it to the Super Bowl and they're trying to figure out what the hell to do against if we try to put McColl in the backfield, it might, I don't know, it might help us.
What does Buffalo have to do to win the game today?
I think Josh Allen just has to be very Josh Allen and not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I mean,
get the non-turnover Josh Allen, 650 to 70 yards on the ground, 250 yards receiving. They can
third down. I think third down is going to be huge for him too, because we're like the best third down offense and they're the best third down defense. So I think that matchup is going to be key too.
No, most definitely, man. So it's just kind of seems like whoever's going to have the least 3 and outs is probably, I mean, obviously it's a stupid statement, but it's just something to kind of look at. It's just how many teams each have 3 and out. For fuck's sake, Buffalo didn't even punt last week. So, and the Chiefs were there. I think their first out on time on the field, they went 3 and out. So, I don't know. With both teams scoring as many points as they did last week too, it's hard to see teams just like blowing up like that 2 weeks in a row, having 40+ points.
I don't know. I feel like
that's why I don't see it being a high score, man. Like everything, I don't know why. It's just I feel like everything against it has it being a high score. It could fuck around and be like a 27 or 21-17 game.
Yeah, I could see the score being like the Chiefs and Rams game a couple years ago, though, where it's 56-49 or whatever it was.
Nah, man, I can't see that. I can't see that. Not at all. Well, we might never see something like that ever again, man.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
But that shit just don't come around. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. So I know I don't want to play the Rams in the Super Bowl. If Chiefs,
I don't either.
I'd much rather see Tampa Bay.
Oh,
so, well, I'd like to see San Francisco the most. So give me the worst quarterback. Give me the worst quarterback, but
dude, they're hot right now. You never know.
Yeah, I don't Rams. Yeah. Hey, I'll still take it. Give me the worst quarterback. I want Tampa just for like revenge factor, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Rams. It's probably worked out. In my opinion, the way the playoffs broke down, this is probably the best case scenario. I know you'd much rather see the Titans than the Bengals, but I think it's just, I don't know. Young teams going to the Super Bowl usually ain't a thing.
Right. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, Chiefs are pretty young, have been pretty young for the most part.
Bro, now we kind of look at it. I mean, even that year we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, won the Super Bowl. It was Patrick was the only one who was really like young. Kelsey's was 28. Tyreek's, how old is he now? He's probably 28 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been in the league for 6 years. So
yeah. I don't know. I I think the Bengals are hungry. That's just it, really. I mean, they've been
Oh, they're
playing
all
really good
hungry,
football.
don't you think all the teams are hungry at this point, dude? Like the idea of that one team is hungrier than the other.
I mean, the way the Chiefs came out
I
against
don't
the
know. It's hard for me
Steelers.
to, because the Steelers, man, nobody believed in the Steelers. I don't know how they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs because the AFC North was kind of garbage this year.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Colts, I don't know what the fuck happened to the Colts to
Oh, I
lose
know that's right.
to Jacksonville. So it's just kind of, didn't nobody give the Steelers a chance. Lord knows I didn't. It just didn't see it. It's just their offense wasn't that great. Big Ben's not what he was. Their defense can get to the passer but overall they've been one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So yeah. Not that I don't think the Steelers had any less heart going into that, or like they'd wanted it any less. If anything, you could have made we're the underdog, and the better team just beat the shit out of them.
Right. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are kind of an underdog today. I mean,
so do
we're
I.
at home.
So do I.
We're at home. We're supposed to. I mean, we get 3 points just because we're at home. You know what I mean? And we're really only favored by 1.5 points. So really, I mean, that's like a 2-point favorite for the Bills. Plus all the picks that I've seen from like the analysts and stuff. They're all. I think out of 10 of them, there was 3 of them to pick the Chiefs, and the other 7 picked the Bills to win today. So
every single show that I've watched, I've watched a lot of kind of just, which I usually don't kind of watch these stupid ass shows, but I think I've literally watched every Skip and Shannon and First Take and Good Morning Football. I love Good Morning Football, and obviously the Pat McAfee show. All of those things, I would say at least 75% of the people are taking Buffalo, and it kind of blows my mind. I do not think that the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, even within himself, have put themselves in a situation to, until they prove it, to be considered the actual favorites by the media. Maybe it's just kind of the way I look at things compared to how things actually are. But I don't know. It's just kind of until little brother actually beats up big brother, you always bet on big brother. At least in my opinion.
right. I don't know. I feel like, and I hate saying this as a Chiefs fan, I just feel like they got the better defense. I mean,
statistically, yeah, for sure.
So
absolutely,
I think
statistically they have the better defense.
Right, and I think that's kind of the only deciding factor between the two teams because they're very similar. Other than that,
yeah, it's just there's a lot of variables with that. It's just we'll see, we'll see, man. Can that number one defense stop Patrick Mahomes again twice in one season? So,
but we also, I think we have the better coach. So anything's possible. I think the plays that Reed writes up makes their defense not as good as they usually are. So I think that could be the game decider, really, is the coaches.
Play calling. Yeah, play calling. I can see that. Sometimes we feel like Reed gets too cute and fans don't like it, but when we're winning big, like last week, we got cute with Kelsey throwing touchdowns. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's kind of our play calling kind of losing compared to their play calling. So sometimes, yeah. But I'll give Reed this. There's usually adjustments. sometimes it's too late, we run out of time, but they always find even towards the end of the game to adjust to have some type of success. So all right, so I'm not watching. Is the other game going on right now? I kind of see the reflection from your screen. So
Oh, you do? Yeah, the
you got
Rams are winning 3-0.
3-0. Okay. So what kind of ended off this? What do you think the score is to that game?
To the Tampa Bay Bucks game? Or
Rams and Bucks game.
And I think it's going to be a pretty good defensive game. I think it's going to come down to like 24-17, 24-21, somewhere around there.
Who you got?
I got Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. So I'm kind of the same thing with you. 24-20. No, I take that back. 24-14 Tampa Bay.
Well, the Rams just scored a touchdown.
But they got 3 already. They're winning 10-0.
10-0 now.
Well, okay. So what the time does is allow you to change your opinion. So they're up by 10. I said, so I was saying, I don't think necessarily all 4 of these games ain't going to be close. So I guess if that's the case, we're going 24-14 Rams is what it sounds like.
I don't know. It's still first quarter, 3.5 minutes to go. I don't know. Rams defense, though, dude. They got probably one of the best defenses in the league, too. So I think it's going to depend on the defense. But I don't know. I feel like Tampa Bay has been more consistent lately than the Rams. And that's the only reason I say that I think Tampa Bay is going to win. But looking at the game right now and how they're playing, it looks like the Rams are being the more consistent team. So whoever's the more consistent is going to win.
So I've got my first ever stupid. Antonio from YouTube says, obviously he's a Bills fan because he has a Bills logo in his profile. So Bills on top. Welcome to the show, Antonio. Obviously, I hope you're wrong, man. Today's game's scary, but like I said, I think one of the teams win by at least 10. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Chiefs, and I'm trying to convince myself, but I can see it going both ways, and just
it's a scary game for sure.
It is. Whoever wins the turnover battle, in my opinion, it's kind of whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. So, so we'll end it with this. What's your final score of Chiefs versus Bills?
38-35.
38. So you got the over by a lot. So, I'm going to go 27-17. I'm going to go Chiefs. Obviously, ain't no way in hell I'm picking the Bills on this one. Even though I will say my old man, he's calling it outright. Bills are winning. Any last words? Yeah, he's calling it outright. He's calling it straight outright. He's like, oh, no, it's the Bills' day.
Chiefs, Rams, Super
Bowl.
Look,
Pop, I was like, look, Pop, I don't need your negativity on a fucking Sunday like this. That's about to be glorious when we're about to go to the AFC Championship game at home for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be a game to go to.
Dude. Yeah. It's dude, never been a better time to be a Chiefs fan. So why the fuck should we stop here now against the Buffalo Bills? So 27-17. Chiefs are going to whoop that ass, baby. Go